intersection of my deepest needs. You were there, I knew, now you know.
Hi, what's up you guys? How are you guys doing? I really hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your weekly reading. Back with me again, Anisa from the Inner Stereo. For those of you who are new to my channel, hello. And for those of you who haven't in a long time, welcome back. So the first card that you have is the King of Swords, and this is your overall energy. Somebody's being a bit cold now. But anyway, if you guys are new to this channel, this is going to be a relationship spread. And you could always apply this with anyone in your life. It could be with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, exes, crushes, fiance, family members, anyone. I'm basically just going to be picking up your relationship energy in general, all right? And don't forget to also check your sun, moon, or Venus sign, because for me personally, I realized that with my readings, I resonate a lot more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign, but probably because my Venus is in 8th house along with my North Node there. I don't really know. But if it doesn't resonate, then it just doesn't resonate, all right? There's so many amazing, talented tarot readers out there for you to just click and watch, okay? Ooh. Let me pull 3 more cards for you, Capricorn. If you guys are dealing with 2 people, it's kind of like it's the same energy, because you are, I mean, the Death card on your overall energy is a pretty big thing because it's a major arcana, and when it comes to major arcana, we're talking about a godly or divine type of intervention to kind of like correct or direct you to the path that you're supposed to be in. And I feel like there's like a lot of matters when it comes to relationship problems that you're trying to, you know what I mean? Like it has been weighing you down. It has been such a burden on your shoulders, and you feel tired, you feel drained, and you feel that this matters in your relationship has been pressing you down, and you just decided to, you know what, like I'm done. It's time for me to kind of like close that chapter off, and I'm ready to open like a new one. And if you are done with one particular person, you're going to have like higher standard, and this is where you should be careful. I gotta say this. I mean, if you guys are single and just went through a period of breakup and you're not letting this person into your emotional space any longer, be careful of I understand you guys having a big standard and criteria, but sometimes you probably overlook things, you know, and you're probably saying to yourself, well, I'm warm and all that, but no, the energy that you're projecting to the outside world is right now very, very cold. Okay, so just be careful of that. But if you guys are still, you know, into the relationship, whether it be you'd be with one person or whether you're with 2 people, there is this sense of coldness right now because you are on a path of self-journey, and you really want things to change in your relationship sector. What is challenging this relationship is that you have the Knight of Wands and you also have the 5 of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is talking about somebody who is a bit flaky. It's a bit different than what you're expecting, because you want to have somebody who put as much responsibility into the relationship as much as you guys do. You know, somebody who says something and they would deliver it, somebody who keeps their promises, somebody who is consistent, somebody who is persistent, somebody who doesn't just blow up just like that, somebody who controls their words and their, you know, their mouth whenever they're angry. So there is something that your partner did in the past that was like a bit out of control, and you feel that this person is being a bit like, wow, like I didn't realize that you were like that. And that left you in a place where you were like the 9 of Wands. So you then starting to question whether you want to invest more into this relationship or whether you do not want to. Because the last time you tried, like you probably have tried like 8 ways, or probably before you met this person, you've been on or in love or tried, you know, things in love 8 ways, but you always end up getting burned. So in Indonesia, we call it like patah semangat. So you got demotivated when it comes to a relationship because it just hits you with your trust issues there. And there's like a lot of bottled up emotions that you're not getting out of. And those bottled up emotions, those bottled up questions that you are dying to tell your partner or to ask your partner about or your ex about is the one that keep you haunted at night. It's the one that keeps you awake at night. You need to have an outlet to release those bottled up emotions that you're having, Capricorn, whether you still want to be with this person or you don't want to be with this person, because if not, then things are not going to change. In the now, though, this person is whoever you're dealing with, especially if you're dealing with one person, and this person is very, very hurting because this person was very hurting because they were not in such good positions in their life when they were in the past, and that might explain the thing that they've done to you in the past by being flaky, indecisive, or irresponsible, or just too much like a wild card for you. Oh, you said you were like this, but turns out I figured that you're not like this. Something that just kind of like triggers your trust issues because it's not as stable as you thought it were. But they're always going to be adventurous. They're always going to be a nine of wands in the heart. So this person right now is hurting because it seems that you're not opening the door. You're not letting them in emotionally because they feel that you guys are focusing a lot and mourning over the mistakes of the past and all that. But you're doing it for a good reason because you feel that this relationship is not building you up. A best type of relationship is a relationship that builds us up to the point that we get our best version of ourselves out. Everybody always have the best and worst version of themselves. And some relationship triggers us to, give out our best versions of ourselves. And some of the relationship triggers us to get, our shadow side out or the worst version of ourselves. And you just feel like, well, you know what, like this has been taking quite some toll on me, and I'm just ready to do the Saturn with Saturn, the great guru likes to do. Boundaries, limitations, self-isolation. Maka ke masa depan. For some of you, especially if you guys are dealing with one person, and I'm saying for some of you, not all of you, but to some of you, you also might be dealing with somebody who just cannot control their emotions whenever they're angry. So they might be saying stuff that really cuts deep to the core. You're dealing with somebody who's very, very fiery, You might be dealing with an air sign. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. You might be dealing with a Scorpio. You might be dealing with Aries. You might be dealing with a fire sign, Sagittarius, or a fellow Capricorn yourself, or a Cancer or Pisces. But anyway, I feel like until 1 to 2 weeks to come, you guys are still going to be focusing a lot on your pentacles, focusing a lot on yourself. You might be wanting to read some more. You might want to have more peace. Like you don't want to hang out with like a lot of people. You just want to read books, or you just want to enjoy yourself watching Netflix, or you want to travel but alone by yourself. You are going to enjoy doing things by yourself because in that moment you'd get your own emotional self-fulfillment. So as I said earlier, there has to be an outlet for you to pour out those negative and bottle up emotions and bottle up questions. And I feel like you might want to do it in the future where you're opening like a talk and you would have that outlet to release. And you're doing it not because you want to reconcile with this person, you're doing it because you just cannot take it any longer. And with by then, this person feels kind of like quite relieved and happy. But the thing is that if you're dealing with one person, similar to you wanting to have a boundaries for yourself, this person is also like that, right? And me being an empathic person, like I kind of like understand, there's always a misconceptions about people with Aries moon. Why? Because people always says that Aries moon are very, very selfish because because they're very open about what they want. But people like that also expect like the partner to be like that too, because they feel like, well, I'm able to express how I want, my emotions and all that. Well, I expect you to do that to myself too. But you're not really in the mood for that. You feel that you cannot, you don't want, I mean, if they're pushing, you don't want to push back. You're just like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm just kind of like too tired and lazy to be dealing with this stuff. So you might be feeling that this person is being very, very selfish, and you are going to be spending most of your time being alone and enjoying some, self-alone time. But getting it out, those bottled up emotions is going to do you wonders. Trust me. Whether you want to reconcile with them or whether you do not want to reconcile with them, that is a good thing for you to do. Okay? This person will then, in the future, probably in 1 to 2 weeks from now, this person is going to start to open up to you, in an emotional way, but they're also mirroring you. So once they become vulnerable and they say you do not become like that, then they kind of like are going to pull back a little bit. And they probably throw some tantrums. What is it that this person wants? Okay, let us see, Capricorn. So you guys want some emotional give and take. You want a mutual give and take, right? You want something that is stable. You want something that is practical. You don't want something that gets too overly emotional. You just want an equal give and take. You just want people to play fair. You just want people, somebody who, when they're angry or when they're depressed or when things are not good in their life, they could control that and not treat you like a dumpster to dump their emotions in and all that. What they're expecting out of you, especially in 1 to 2 weeks from now, is the 9 of Cups and also the 3 of Swords in reverse. They feel that you guys have hurt them in the past and they wanted to heal from it. It's for their own self-emotional fulfillment here. Okay? So I think that is it if you guys are dealing with one person. Let's proceed if you guys are dealing with 2 people. If you guys are single and ready to mingle, and if you make effort in becoming, not single. You do have like a lot of admirers. I gotta be honest with you, Capricorn. Even in the now, people see you having this long-term type of potential. The thing is that you don't want a relationship in the now. In the future, you might be open to that idea, but still, you're going to approach dating in a very, very distant manner. So I have a life, you have a life. We'll see what happens. So maybe around like 3-month mark, then you'd get to make a decision whether you want to be with this person or not. Okay? You have like a lot of people who admires you. At least 2 people who wants to have something stable with you, and one person that, you might, in the future, or they might perceive you being nice to them as a way of flirting, and they might get into feeling with you. So be careful too, okay? So let's move on to the 2 people scenarios, meaning that if you guys are only dealing with one person, your reading ends a few seconds ago. Okay, so if you guys are dealing with two people, person A is somebody who, as I said, probably have like a little bit of temper issues, or they're like a wild card. Like, you know that there is a good part in them, but their actions can be quite questionable. And with this person, you kind of like are wondering whether it's safe for me to invest in this person or not. That was in the past. And now though, you're starting to be like, yeah, I'm not willing to take that risk, and you're closing off your heart chakras. And this person, because this person was very passionate and infatuated with you, I'm not going to say that this person is in love with you, because it's very fiery. So they're passionate about you very much. This person is hurt because they know that you guys are starting to create some boundaries and distance between you and them. In the future though, because you guys are not really into a monogamy type of relationship in the future, in the 1 to 2 weeks to come, and you're still kind of like considering your options, and you're very much about yourself independent, you might kind of like give them the wrong impression or a wrong message that make them happy. So be careful, because this person A might end up getting hurt because of you giving the false perception, or you giving a false, because this person is into you, and they might get into emotional bases in the future. How about person B, Anisa? Person B is somebody who you have like a lot of bottled up emotions with, and somebody who you cannot stop thinking about. This person in the past was kind of like given up to you. And they might be juggling you and either their work or their family or another person. But they're kind of like dropping off that bomb. They're dropping one person off, and you're kind of like, you're torn. I mean, like, you have like a lot of bottled up emotions when it comes to this person B. And then now though, this person B is starting to feel very, very collectively happy with you, and they're starting to see what the future has to offer between you and them. But for some reasons, now that you're getting what you want, it just doesn't make you feel good. It just doesn't, because you feel like, well, you know, like, I don't really know whether I want to invest in this or not. In the future, this person is going to in a very direct and transparent manner throw in some tantrums in which you wouldn't like, but you still want to give this person an equal give and take. This person B is unsure whether they want to be with you or whether they want to be somewhere else. So if it's a question of which one is better, I'd say person A is better. But I feel like you're much more leaning on person B than person A. Because person B, even in the future, this person is still torn. They do have like a dark side that is still very, very tempting for them to go back to, or there's something else or someone else that they might, you know, it's still very tempting for them to go to. You know what I mean? Okay? So I think that is it for my reading for you, Capricorn. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you find tons and tons of clarity that you've been looking for. And I'll see you guys next week for another weekly reading. All right, bye-bye, guys. Have a great day. I love you.
If I love you and you love me, let's plant a seed, watch it grow into a tree, baby. Why don't we grow some nectarines, baby? Why don't we grow a little